I just got off the phone with my other ranting about the movie, and now I get to do the same with you. Hello, my little filmer dudes. My name is Montero. I'm being quiet because it is 10:01. Thank you for joining me on my journey to watch every movie ever created. Not really, but we are going to get close. So Joker 2, the Joker with the unsayable subtitle. Folie, Deux, I think. That's my French, pardon it. I will say that I had a really good time watching a movie in IMAX that actually worked this time. But this one, there wasn't that many people watching, but that is just because this tonight was a fan event. Let me tell you what, I feel like there were some fans in that theater. Some people were crying at the end of the movie, and I'm just gonna say this now and I will say this again towards the end. I am worried about the toxicity levels of their relationships. If you're crying by the end of this movie, I'm concerned, and you should seek help. I mean that genuinely. Let me preface with the fact that I didn't like Joker 1. When I saw it, I think it glorifies evil way too much. Ending is also way too much, which is hilarious because that's the same that I feel about this one. Here's my thesis for Joker 2. Joker 2 is a conglomerate mess. It has a lot of good elements, good pieces that should work, but they don't. They don't work in tandem with each other. It's as if Todd Phillips grabbed multiple pieces from multiple puzzles and somehow fit them together, but the picture that you're seeing makes absolutely no sense whatsoever because it's all jumbled. A lot of different puzzle pieces from different puzzles put into one movie, and that's what Joker 2 is. At some point, I started thinking, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to remember this, aren't I? Because that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to say. So I actually wrote it down on my hand, but then I immediately took out my notebook because I said, this is not gonna work. So I have my notes that I wrote in the dark, in cursive, and let me just say, I didn't do quite half bad. Penmanship-wise, notes-wise, I love musicals. I'm excited for Wicked and Moana 2. I don't know if there's any more musicals coming out this year, but I'm excited for those two musicals. Let me just say that as a fan of musicals, the music in this movie did not work. And I think that's because Todd Phillips, one, had no interest in making this movie, but two, is not a musical director. And I don't know if anyone else felt the same way, but it was very hard to watch musical somewhat with a character who actually cannot sing. And let me tell you what, they commit to these songs. They sing the songs from beginning to end, and it's almost incessant. They'll finish singing like a whole musical number, and I say that very loosely, and then another song will immediately play. It's just a little bit jarring because you're just like, I just listened to music as a captive audience member. Because listening to Joaquin Phoenix sing for 2 to 3 full minutes with no breaks, it could be a little rough to sit through those sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the music scenes are used as transition scenes, and they really don't provide any more plot or any more meat to the story. Actually, they don't. So a lot of it really does feel unnecessary, and again, unnecessarily long. We get the point within 15 to 30 seconds, maybe a minute, but then 2 to 3 to 4 minutes. And it's very ironic to say that the musical numbers are actually the best parts of the movie, even though they are also the roughest parts of the movie. Musical numbers are gorgeous. They are shot beautifully, the production quality is great, and the performances during the musical numbers are fantastic. I mean, Harley Quinn, Lady Gaga, she actually gives one of the best performances ever, and that's in and out of a musical number. But I'm just telling you, Joaquin Phoenix's performance within the musical numbers, those are the times when he really shines, honestly, because he's allowed to be more Joker-like during those scenes. However, the beginning of the movie has awful pacing, and I do remember saying, how many openings are we going to get? Genuinely, I counted about 4 openings in a row. There's so many openings for this movie. Every time one of these openings that I'm calling them started, I said that we could have legitimately started the movie right here, in fact. And each time, it got better as an opening, but it was too much. The pacing is awful. And the introduction for Harley Quinn is also kind of awful because she kind of just appears, and then she's important because she needs to be. I'm telling you, man, the writing and the pacing for this first act is not good. It's slow as hell, and then the rest of the movie continues to be slow as hell. And word of warning, this is barely a Joker movie. Joker barely appears in this movie. This is an Arthur Fleck movie, and I'm disappointed because I wanted to see more crime Joker, more Harley Quinn and Joker, or rather Joker and Harley Quinn, and we did not necessarily get that. And I looked at the time, it started promptly at 7:15, and I kid you not, 1 hour and 33 minutes later, that's when it starts getting interesting. An hour and 33 minutes in the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not necessarily a spoiler, but that's when the Joker actually appears. And it feels like a retread of the first movie because during the whole movie, you're like, I want to see more Joker. It's just, my God, the writing, not great. Once you get to the end of the movie, you wonder, why was this even made? Todd Phillips, who has been on record saying that he has no interest in making a Joker 2 after Joker 1 came out, and said that he did not believe in sequels, and he said that he did not want to make a Joker 2 because it would just be a cash grab. You can totally feel that attitude throughout this movie. I did not like a lot of the gratuity that happened in this movie, especially towards the end of the movie, that played into character moments. And I see what Todd Phillips and other people were trying to do. It's awful that they are trying to make you feel bad for bad characters. It's just not a good thing. I just don't think that this movie deserves any sympathy, empathy whatsoever. And again, if you are crying for anyone in this movie, I guarantee you need to take a look at your relationship and potentially go speak with someone, because everyone involved was insanely toxic for everybody. This movie is a freaking bummer of a movie. I mean, I kind of felt like that with Joker 1 as well, but this one especially is just a bummer. But on the bright side, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, that does work. That delivered. I went to go see this movie mainly for Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and guess what? I got what I wanted. Maybe not quite everything that I wanted, but I got enough. I'm just sad that we got Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn barely, because she genuinely was the best part of this movie, which of course Harley Quinn ends up being the best part of any project that she is in, except for Batman Caped Crusader. That was awful. I mean, the whole show was great, but Harley Quinn was not. However, I do feel like we were not given what we were promised. This movie is tonally, genuinely all over the place. It's a courtroom lawyer movie, plus romance movie, plus musical, plus dark comedy, plus drama, and it just, again, there's so many tones and genres in this movie, and it's trying to fit all of them together, but it doesn't. Many puzzle pieces from many places. There's no mid-credit scene, there's no post-credit scene, so as soon as this movie ends, you can just leave. That is my review for Joker 2. I don't know if I would recommend a Joker 2. I thought the reviews might have been a little bit harsh, but genuinely, when in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, you kind of get the tone of the movie, and that is exactly what you're going to get. As soon as that first song starts, that is how the rest of the movie it feels and is going to be like, and you're like, damn, this is gonna be a rough ride. It is such a long and such a boring movie. It is such a bummer of a movie. And a lot of it just doesn't make sense. It is chaotic. It is not good. It is a hot mess. Is it smart for Todd Phillips to end here? Yes, I would say don't make a Joker 3. No. Unfortunately, I give Joker 2 a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 6.2. We'll see. As I'm editing this, how I feel. It is a kind of pretty movie, and I do see where it's coming from, psychologically at least. But again, without getting into spoilers, I think a lot of this is gratuitous, hyperbolic, just insanely unnecessary. This movie, I feel like, was just, we could have done without it. What a bummer of a movie, what a bummer. I mean, I had a good time criticizing it, so that's fine. Let me know your comments. Are you gonna go see it? And if you're catching this after it's released to the public, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. My social media links are in the description below, and I will see you next time. You've just been unmontified.